Okay, so I thought it would be fun to come and take an evening stroll through the garden because it's actually my favorite time of the day to come out here. This area right here has been kind of tricky for me because some things are doing what they're supposed to be doing, other things not so much. Like these hibiscus bushes, for prime example. I had these bushes last year and they were like 2 feet tall and maybe 2 feet wide. And this year, they look at these things and they are getting ready to freaking explode. But they kind of messed up my plan a little bit because I wanted, like, I have the phlox and some alliums, or they're ornamental onions. Um, there's vinca down here. This was going to be the low side, and then my next step would have been those, and then I have the butterfly bushes in the back, and they're gonna get taller, of course. They kind of had a slow start this year, but they're starting to come along. And I have some gay feather back there. There are cannas that also kind of got a slow start this year because typically by this time of year my cannas would be like as tall as that background, which is the ultimate goal. So there's Gara. I have Russian sage here. But look at this dude right here. Like I get my whole life from him. Isn't he gorge? I freaking love him. He looks so cool, especially with this fern in his head. I got that from Shillelagh. So there's a inset banana tree here, and that's what you see when you come in the gate to your left. And then, of course, when you go to your right, you see the pond. So I'm just so amazed at how things are growing. Of course, we still have a leaf problem. The leaves come, the leaves come from these cottonwood trees here, which belong to my neighbor, and we would love for them to magically disappear, but not in a tragic way or anything. But I don't know why they drop leaves all summer long. It could be because he doesn't water them. Maybe they need water. I don't know. But everything around the pond is just growing, growing, growing. And I just planted up a bunch of perennial grasses around here. Well, I've had these water lilies here for probably about not even a month, and they are just going crazy. There's one flower that's kind of fading out or has faded out, and there's one that's getting ready to come into bloom. But when they open up, those are simply gorgeous. So I had my husband the last time come in here with some long cutters and cut the seed pods off, because if you cut the seed pods off, they'll continue to make flowers, continue to bloom flowers. So this is a Wygeia bush. I have some hydrangeas here that I'm turning pink, and they're turning. They're starting to turn. And just more grasses. I just wanted this to all fill in. I wish I knew the name of this right here. I bought it from the nursery. It said that it's an annual, but it is so pretty. It was teeny tiny when I got it. And if anybody knows the name of this, leave it in the comment section below. It's not going to be an annual for me because I'm taking it in the greenhouse this winter. But just lots of grasses and things to hide the apparatuses. And there's a sumac there. That sumac is just out of control. So this is where we chillax. And I like to have, I think candles outside when it's extremely hot, they make the atmosphere really inviting. I bought this candle holder from Target, I want to say, and I just filled it up with fire glass, which is what's also in the fire pit, and popped a candle in there. And these are living in their last days, but I grew these, and I always grow white lilies just for the purpose of cutting them and putting them in a vase because I love the way they smell. They smell so pretty and so sweet. Yeah, we don't want to get a music strike. I like to fix my outside areas up just pretty much exactly like I fix up the inside areas. So then we come around to the back side, and you can't see what's going on back here because it's tucked away. But this is that dial that I thrifted and painted purple. But you know, even when you outside, a girl must have her beverages, right? I need to fill that up. I just actually cleaned it out. This is the back side of the deck, which I planted. There's really nothing back here but hostas and ground cover. That's the end goal back here. And this is an area that I know will not be nice until next year when the hostas do better. I'm fighting to keep the slugs off of them, and the ground cover grows more, which the ground cover, this is ajuga, and it is really, I have about 8 of these back here, and they are really doing their thing. And then kind of randomly throughout, I have all these little jazz men. There's a drummer, saxophonist. Let's go through here. Oh, this is another one of my favorites. This needs to be tamed because those are super petunias, and they get a little leggy over time if you're not whacking on them constantly. So, and then I have purple hearts in there with that. The Japanese maple. Someone asked me in a video one time, I think, do we take it in the house? No, we don't. Another question that someone asked me was, do we take the cushions in the house? No, we don't. That green smoke bush right there has really grown on me. I really like that tree for some reason. It's so odd looking and just really different. Let's go to pollinator paradise, shall we? Okay, so I call this, oh wait, look who's starting to bloom. So I underplanted this planter with Super Tunia Snowdrift, and they went crazy. Today, I actually came through here today with the weed whacker and just whacked them all because they were growing like all out into the grass and just kind of were everywhere. So over here in this little area, I have a fountain that's not fountaining right now, but lots of zinnias, which I live for. Look, will you look at there's a bug in there. They're just so, I love them. I love the way that they look. And sometimes they all seem to look a little different. And sometimes the older they get, like the more I love them. Like, look at these. Oh my goodness. I grew these from seed. I had 2 packs of zinnia seeds, and I grew, look at these. Look how they're like kind of fuchsia in the center, and then they just fade out. Oh my goodness, I love these. Then I have some butterfly bushes over here. Now, recently we had a storm. I have cosmos here. These are cosmos. And I had cosmos in 2 places, and they were like 6 feet tall. And we got a lot of rain, and the rain weighed them down, and I could never get them to stand back up. So I just hit them with the whack-a-mole Fina. More vinca. I love vinca. You will see a lot of vinca in my yard. Like around the pool area, there's tons of vinca. Vinca does her thing and she doesn't require anything. Like, she doesn't ask anything of me. I've never deadheaded her. I've never done anything to her. And she just, the hotter it is, the better Vinca does. And there's elephant ears in here, and then here are more cosmos. I like cosmos because they have this really dainty appearance to them. So over there is Rose Row, which is currently not in bloom. All right, so still a part of paradise, or pollinator paradise, I have butterfly weed here, and then there are dahlias, which are they've kind of fizzled out a little bit. I have bee balm that I had to take this all the way down because it had powdery mildew, and I took it all the way down to the ground, and I didn't care if it came back or not. I have 3 of them, and they all have come back, and they're all doing well, and they don't appear to have any mildew on them. So hashtag win, right? So everything over here is just repeated. I'll tell you, these are some of my favorite coneflowers. I love the way those look. I don't know if you can see on camera how they start out. They're kind of ombre. They're like dark in the center, and then they kind of fade out to a lighter orange. During the daytime, this area right here, you dare get close. There are tons of bees and butterflies and everything just kind of swarming over here in this area. Now, back by the greenhouse, I had to change the 2 tall planters out recently because I had some petunias back here and they didn't really enjoy being back here. Pardon the mess in the greenhouse. A possum thought it would be nice to go in there and tear up all my stuff. I'm not sure what he was after. He tore up like a bag of neem nuts. He busted open my rose fertilizer and some biotone. He was just in everything. It really pissed me off, but it is what it is. So yeah, I changed the petunias out and I put impatiens in there because impatiens don't mind the amount of shade that is back here. Once all the trees and everything fill in back here, as the summer progresses, it gets to be a lot of shade back here. So in these barrels, in the planters, I had 1 pack of hollyhock seeds, and I planted them in the barrels because I heard they wouldn't bloom until next year because they're biennials, right? Well, this is what we have here, and they're blooming, and I'm like, I wish I would have put them somewhere else, but in the fall, I'm going to actually dig them up, and I'm going to make like an entire area for hollyhocks. Now, over on that side of the greenhouse, bamboo happened. My neighbor has bamboo on the other side of that fence, and if you look behind that planter right there, you can see a stalk of it that needs to be chopped down. But the bamboo ran under the fence and completely choked out everything I had over there. With the exception of those gladiolas that you see popping up, they came back. But I never thought that anything in life could kill a Shasta daisy, but the bamboo choked out all my Shasta daisies on that side, which I really don't mind because I'm not a fan, but I keep these because I've always had them growing on either side of the greenhouse. So I just keep them there, but those are no more. So I've also planted up some hostas and some brunnera underneath those planters there. Now this right here is something I wanted to do to cut off Hammock Island, because for some reason I didn't like how when you walked through the gate you could actually see all the way back to Hammock Island. So I bought these dividers from a yard sale, and for $5, there are 2 of them there. I staked those into the ground, and I planted this inset, which is loving its life right here. This thing is, It's probably, I asked my husband, was it 7 feet tall? He said he thinks it's about 7.5 feet tall. And it is so beautiful. I love these trees. I love them. But I like this little area. It's cute. It cuts off Hammock Island, which we're about to go see right now. Okay, so we're back on Hammock Island. And now talk about repurposing. I'm going to show you guys 3 gazebos that we've had that I have actually repurposed. And don't ask me why we've had 3 gazebos. This is a long story, okay? However, we have switched over to all hard tops. So we no longer have any soft top gazebos. So this was a gazebo that was on our upper deck that we took it down and replaced it with a hard top gazebo. And that's up on Meditation Station, which I showed at the beginning of this video. So I kept the frame. And I just went in and I put some wood slats going across the top and put a canvas cover over the top of it just to keep the hammocks clean. Now, we used to have 2 hammocks back here, but I felt like it was extremely busy. So I took one of them out. And this is a 2-person hammock, and typically it's only 2-person back here. So we lay back here and we put the movie screen up and bring out the projector and some cocktails, and y'all know the rest, okay? So I really like these planters back here. These are coleus that, again, I started all these from seed. You can tell which 2 are in the best position. Don't look behind the greenhouse, child. It's a tornado back there. I love these. I like coleus so much, but I grew these from seed, all of these from seed. So there are actually some caladiums in there somewhere, but they've been sucked up by the coleus. Are there? Yeah. I really want those to show, but you know, they've been sucked up by the coleus. So I planted some elephant ears back here, which I got those in late. I popped those in extremely late, but they're really starting to grow. So my idea is that they will grow huge and beautiful, and they'll also kind of like block off this little area right here. Okay, so this is gazebo repurpose number 2. These posts from these 2 apparatus right here were from a gazebo that we had out here that was a soft top. We replaced it with a hard top. And I just used the posts, and I bought some, I believe it's called cattle prodding, and I put that in the middle. I'm actually growing sweet autumn clematis up the trellis. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that growing up there. She's starting to do lovely. And I underplanted that with Hakonacloa grass. And there are sweet potato vine and purple hearts in there with a palm tree. Okay, and you guys, I know you remember this. This is the infamous door that my husband brought home. I'm telling you, we're gonna do a my husband brought this home segment. My husband has a friend that is a sanitation engineer. Is that what it's called? He drives the trash truck in a very nice area, and he brings me a lot of stuff as well. Like he knows that I like junk, so sometimes when he comes across something, he'll bring it to me. I'm gonna show you a few things that he has given me. These dogwoods have seen better days, and this was a self-inflicted wound because it was a cloudy day, cloudy overcasty day, and I came in and I sprayed them with neem and Dawn dish soap because they had bugs on them. And about 20 minutes later, the sun came out and it got hot as hell. And this is what you have. So I am gonna chop those all the way down. They're not dead, they are still growing. I was looking at them and I noticed that even after my little fiasco, they still have some new growth. So I'm gonna hit them with the chop and let them rebound. And this is my favorite grass ever, because what this does in the fall is so beautiful. It looks like a fireworks display in the fall. It's so lovely. Okay, and this is an area that I told you guys doesn't a lot of plants don't do real well in the ground here. So I have lots of things in pots. And now you actually have to look kind of close to notice that I actually have all these coleus in pots. This look at this scene right here. Get your life with this. I love this. Look, I mean, you have to appreciate the deep maroon or burgundy, whatever you refer to it as. And then you have this one, which has a touch of that in there. And then you have this, and this has a touch. Oh, I live for this. Whenever I look at this, I love it. Someone asked me, how did my coleus get so full? And it is because every single day, and this is no exaggeration, every single day, I come in here to all of my coleus and I look at them. And if I see this little flower thing, there's a bug on here. Let me get him off there first. Okay, if I see this little flower thing coming up, and you'll see there's actually one here as well. If there's not one there, I'll only pinch it there. But being that there's one there, I'm gonna pinch it all the way down there. And you can usually just do it with your fingernail. And if you look and see, there are two little baby leaves there, and those are gonna grow, and that's how you bush them out. So I have some dappled willows, which are really growing here as well. This is another favorite coleus of mine. Look at that. Oh, isn't that so rich and yummy? This is in the coleus family, but it's not actually coleus. I cannot remember the name of that. I got it from Lowe's though. And then I have lots of black-eyed Susan. I do not like these. I don't like the leaf habit of these. If the leaves behaved a little better, I think I could tolerate them more, but I'm not really smitten over those. We have my knight in shining armor. And look at this scarlet bean vine just going freaking crazy, right? Oh, I thrifted that picture back there. When I saw it at the thrift store, I thought, oh, she should be in my garden. Now, I'm actually growing wisteria here, but this is for next year, okay? And it was teeny tiny, but it's getting on down with the get down. I'm excited about this. Can y'all picture this? Go with me. Picture this arbor covered in wisteria. Those big purple pods hanging all down. Can you picture it? I can. I love it. So scarlet bean vines actually have beans. And can you see? Let me see. Oh yeah, you can see there's some beans there. I feel like something has stolen some of my beans, because sometimes it seems like there's a lot of them, and then other times there aren't. But all the flowers will turn to beans, and they're really good. You just break them off and you eat the whole pod, and they have kind of like a sweet taste to them. Okay, let's venture off to the white garden. Now that right there, I have a moonflower growing up that's a room divider that we got from an antique store when we were traveling on the road. And I call this the white garden because everything growing over here is either white or green, with the exception of a few things. But like, I have two snowball viburnums right here. Again, I say this, gardening is about patience, right? Because I know that this is not the year for my garden. It's next year, okay? Because these snowball viburnums, they're gonna get big. They're gonna have these poofy white balls on them. This is moon vine here, which is not a perennial, but I also have clematis growing here, which will not grow as fast. That's a little tidbit. Like, if there's a perennial vine that you really want to grow, but you're impatient like me, just grow an annual vine on the same trellis, as long as one of them's not gonna like murder the other one. And then you have something good to look at this year, and then next year when the other vine takes off, you'll be good to go. So as you walk under the arbor, I have this little, I love this. Oh, super cute, right? It's all, the devil is in the detail, you guys, okay? It's the little petty stuff for me. These are limelight hydrangeas, and I just planted them with some arborvitaes. Here I have a row of them, a whole row of them. This is Sandy. Y'all met her the last time, right? And I have some hanging baskets. Hey, how you doing? This mirror was actually, I've had this mirror for well over 20 years, and it was in our garage for about the past 5 years. And so I put it out here. I said, you know what, I'm gonna put that in the white garden. I love being able to stand off, because when you stand off in the distance, you look in the mirror, all the white flowers and everything are reflecting. It looks really pretty. So there's moon vine all along the fence here, which is starting to take off as well. I got this little truck on a vacation. He lights up at night. Oh, this thing right here, my husband's friend, the sanitation engineer, he gave that to me. He found that, and I was like, I'm gonna put it in my, I'll put it in my white garden. And I have a thing for birdhouses, so you'll see some down there. There's a picture of a painting of a ballerina lady, and she sparkles. I don't know if I get the sparkle on camera though. And just all white. These two trees back in the way back corner, those are pussy willow trees, which will get white, what are they called? Y'all know what they're called. They'll get those. And some, looks like something's eating on them. And then this is a candle holder that I just put, it's a 9 candle holder, and I just put 9 clay pots and filled them with creeping thyme. And oh, this stuff smells, oh, I love the way it smells. It smells amazing. Then I have some grasses. I planted grasses all along this, because I told you guys I'm trying to hide what's going on back there, right? And I've also popped some river birches in over there. This table and chair right here, this was the very first thing that I had ever bought from Pier 1. Like, I think, I'm trying to remember if my daughter was born. I don't think she was. So I want to say, or maybe she was. So I want to say, I know I've had it like maybe like 22, 23 years. So I miss Pier 1. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I've had this thing, and it's been outside for most of the time that I've had it, and it does not at all look 23 years old. I've never spray painted it. I've never done anything to it. So and I have another hardy hibiscus over here, but this one has big white flowers, and I bought this. It's actually bloomed. It's had about 4 flowers since I got it, but I got this from the dead plant section, and it was suffering, taking, buffering when I got it. But it is actually, I didn't know, I didn't know, but when I came out here one day and it had a big white flower on it, I was like, yes. So it's actually going to be okay. And a bunch of sweet potato vines here. I have this plant stand. Y'all know I thrifted it. It just has 3 stairs. And this is another one of my favorites. This is chamomile. Oh, if you've never smelled that, it's like, it's lemony sweet. It's so pretty. Okay. Oh, back here in the corner, I have I just planted this, what is this? Oh, it's a purple plum. It's a flowering purple plum. So I'm excited about that. You know, I like that tree so much that I said, if my Japanese maple struggles this year, I'll swap it out with one of those because it was like a fourth of the price. So, and I love the color so much more too because it's like a deeper plum color. And this bicycle, it's a bicycle, but it's actually a wine rack. And I'm just growing a basket of sweet potato vine on it, and the vine's gonna trickle all the way down to the bottom. That was from Charles. And black-eyed Susans, but there's also tons of salvia, which I've just chopped back. These, I don't know what the deal is with these elephant ears right here. They're doing so much better than all of their counterparts. Salvia, some anise, that's anise right there, which also smells amazing. And lots of black-eyed Susans, Prince Tut. I need to give my elephant ears some water. And some sedum, lemon coral sedum, which I'm a fan of, a huge fan. All right, so did we miss anything? I don't think we did. Oh, one last thing I did want to show was the obelisk that I showed you guys. I think the last time I did the video, I had just planted the climbing rose and it was probably like right here. And now the climbing rose has climbed all the way to the top. So I gotta read up on what's the proper way to send it back down, which I'm hoping I can do because I've never grown a climbing rose before. So, all right, there you go. Thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight. This was fun. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Let me know what you're working on in your garden this year. Let me know what was your favorite doodad that you saw. Thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight. Until I see you again, be blessed and